Testing. Testing, testing. I don't know. I don't think this is fun.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is such a joy and pleasure to welcome all of you here to Temple Shir Tikva. There's a midrash that suggests that Jerusalem would expand to be able to welcome and accommodate everyone who traveled there for various festive occasions. And it certainly feels that Temple Shir Tikva is expanding tonight as we welcome so many guests into this space. It is a real joy and pleasure to welcome our friends from down the road from Congregation B'nai Torah to join us for this evening service with Rabbi Lisa Iderson, my friend and colleague who will be participating in this evening service. And from a little further down the road, it is wonderful to welcome our friends from the United Parish in Brookline with Susan DeSelms, their Minister of Music, our choir director and all-round music superstar, who will be leading this evening's service. This is not necessarily a normal service for our community. It is a service where we are focusing on the music, focusing on the fact that it is Black History Month, and this provides an opportunity for us to mark that occasion as a Jewish community, celebrating those elements of story that resonate for all of us and that are important for all of us as Jews, as Christians, as Americans, to grab hold of, to understand, and to take forward in that way. And so we're delighted to be able to do that for this evening service. And so as we enter into this space, though, we know that Shabbat always comes at the end of a long, long week. And so we're going to just take a deep breath, a neshima amukah, to let go of the week that has been. So together we'll just breathe in and we breathe out. And we take one more deep breath to really enter into this space, breathing in together and breathing out. As Susan offers a word of introduction for our first prayer and song this evening.
We open tonight's service with the Negro spiritual, There Is More Love Somewhere. We will be learning more later in the body of the service about folk music known to us as Negro spirituals, which is, in fact, the preferred term for the community to whom they belong. I will line it for you. That means I'll sing a line and you'll sing after me. So I go first. There is more love somewhere. Sing. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. And feel free to add your own harmonies as we sing, because that is exactly how they would have been sung. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There's more hope. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more hope somewhere. There's more peace. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more love somewhere.
With those beautiful words echoing in our ears, we turn back to page 2 in our Siddur. It's my pleasure to ask Rabbi Lisa up to light the Shabbat candles for us this evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Now, a pleasure to ask Rabbi Lisa to share some words with us.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
A study conducted at Harvard University in 2020 demonstrated what most of us have known anecdotally from our life experience. In the words of the researchers, and I quote, "Music carries a set of unique codes and patterns which are, in fact, universally understood." The purpose of this study was to explore whether or not music from different cultures share certain qualities. Of course, they learned music is, in fact, universal. People from different backgrounds and cultures are born with an innate ability to relate to music, and whether or not the music has words, are able to identify and categorize music into 13 discrete emotional responses that are cross-culturally uniform. The intent is to use these findings in the fields of psychiatry and psychology and to potentially develop complementary therapies to traditional medicine to help people. In writing about her early experience with music, Bernice Johnson Reagan, an African-American woman, composer, song leader, scholar, and producer, speaks about the power of congregational singing in the Black community in central Southwest Georgia, not just in church, but in school, on the playground, in secular activities, even at rallies. She remembers music in her community as everyone together joining in to raise the song into life. Moreover, when connected to the civil rights movement and the marches throughout our country, music became the medium for nonviolent struggle, a voice for protest, a call for equality, and the peaceful fight against racism. Music was one way in which Black citizens expressed their history, yearning for freedom, pain from oppression, fear in times of danger, and hope in the face of struggle. Music in our Jewish tradition occupies a similarly prominent place in our prayer, worship, homes, learning, individual and communal expression. The freedom songs of the civil rights movement may be juxtaposed with the biblical Song at the Sea, the Song of Deborah that we read last week in synagogues, the Psalms of David, which are found throughout our liturgy and recited at life cycle events and holy days throughout the year, and other pieces of music we associate with Jewish life. They are all outward expressions of emotions which rest deep in our human hearts and emerge as poetry and song. When we raise our voices together in community, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, Black, white, yellow, brown-toned skin, we are all able to find unity in our diversity. When we sing and make music together, the paradox of difference disappears and our shared humanity shines through for all to see. On this Shabbat evening, on which together we observe Black History Month, and every day we welcome all into our synagogues as family. We sing the melodies of our people and all people in one voice. We use the universal language of music to work toward greater understanding, to advocate for justice for every human being, to hold on to hope. Following his participation in the 1965 Civil Rights March from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel explained that worship and music are truly authentic only when they lead us to what he said, to pray with our feet, to make the world a better place. We continue together with Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath and one another in song and celebration.
Page 20.
Hallelujah. Having welcomed the Shabbat bride, we now take a moment to welcome one another. Turn to someone you don't know in the sanctuary, introduce yourselves, share your life story, wish them a Shabbat Shalom, get to know one another, schmooze a little bit. There will be more time to schmooze and get to know one another at the end of services. If people would like to take a seat, as we turn now to page 26 to continue with the Chatzi Kaddish. Amen.
Israel, Bagada, Bagada, Uvisman Karir, Timeru, Amen. Yehesh me Rabba Levora, Le'olam lo me'almaiha, Yitzvarach, Yitzvarach, Vishtabach, Vitpa'ar, Vitramham, Vitnaser, Vitadar, Vitale, Shemni de Kudisha, Rihu, Lehina min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush bechata v'nechemata, Damiram v'yama, v'imiru, Amen.
On page 28, we rise now in body or in spirit for the Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Are you listening? My prayer.
We turn together and read at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ushem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובפונך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem, Amen. At this point in our service, we've reached our Ge'ulah, or redemption prayer, which we say every day to offer gratitude to God, as it says in our prayer book, to God our Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. Within the Ge'ulah prayer are the words of Mi Chamocha, which come directly from our Torah and were sung by our ancestors as they celebrated our freedom from enslavement in Egypt, rejoicing at the moment of finally standing as a free people on the safe shore of the Sea of Reeds. In that sense, I think we can call Mi Chamocha our first Jewish spiritual, a song of triumph over a brutal oppressor, words that reflect our ancestors' spirit of resilience, of never giving up hope, which is the heart of this Ge'ulah prayer. From that moment on, we know too well that the Jewish people have faced oppression time and time again, and that the same resilient spirit has given voice to many prayers for Ge'ulah, for redemption over the centuries. So in place of singing the words of Mi Chamocha as per usual tonight, we will sing for this Ge'ulah moment, redemption moment, a song from the post-Holocaust era, appropriately titled Zol Shoin Kumen de Ge'ulah, Let Our Redemption Come. The lyrics are by Shmerke Kazherginsky, a survivor who traveled around the DP camps after the war, collecting stories, and the melody is by Rav Abraham Isaac Kook, the first chief rabbi of the State of Israel. It reminds us that when we are downtrodden, we should sing a little song to keep our spirits alive. And if we have nothing joyful to drink, we should drink water, mayim chayim, living waters, because water is a metaphor for Torah, a wellspring of life that never dries up. This song fervently begs that Moshiach, or perhaps the Messianic age, should come and soon, and not be a little bit too late. Ungesäuert eufen Herzen macht Männer lechaim. Oib der umet los nit ruhing, singen ihre Lied. Is nit auch ein bissel Brandwein, lo mir trinken mein. Mein Heim ist doch Heim, was doch noch der Lied. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald. Sie's a Dorf und Kuhle Chayib, seid nit kein Narbonen. Und von Sindekin, Mashiach Gecher kommen wird. Ach, de Taten in Himmelsbetten bnei Rachmanen. Se Mashiach soll nit kommen, a bissel zu spät. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald. Tanzen Bämer in die Wälder, Stern auf den Himmel. Reb Yisroel, der Mechuten, trägt sich in der Miet. Setzt sich häufig Mashiach von seinen tiefen Himmel. Wenn wird der Herrin unser twielidige Lied. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald. Soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, soll schon kommen die Geule, Mashiach kommt schon bald.
And even with that deep, deep longing for redemption in our hearts, we can also be present and enjoy in the beauty and peace of sitting together and dwelling together. And with that, we turn to Hashki Venu on page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Hashki Venu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashki Venu, Leshalom. Hashki Venu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashki Venu, Leshalom. B'chamidenu, shomreinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu, sukat shlom lecha. B'chamidenu, shomreinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu, sukat shlom lecha. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Hashki Venu, Leshalom. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We turn to page 46 for the Amidah, and we rise in body or spirit and face east.
Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Adonai sifatai titach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imamoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasirot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, L'Man Shemo V'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach Magel, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחייב ומשמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, קדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלם. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently through page 62 with the prayer in our hearts or in our siddur. You may sit after you have completed your tefillah, your prayer.
As we turn to page 253 in our Siddurim, we know that while Shabbat is a day of joy and celebration, there are those amongst us who are suffering, those in need of healing of the mind, body, soul, or spirit. And so we think about those in need of healing whose names we share now on the screen, and we invite everyone present in the community, if there are others that you're thinking of at this time, to share their names as I look now around the sanctuary.
Annika and Sasha Cooper. Amy Siegel, Nadav Kernick. Jerry Ryan.
We offer this prayer for healing on page 253.
Mi sheberach Abotinu v'imotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, hu yivarach et ha'cholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yamalei rachamim aleihem, lechachalimam u'rapotam u'lechachazikam, v'yishlach lahem mehira refuah, refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf, hashtar b'gala u'vizman karev, v'nomar Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which should it be up or down? I spoke with you all in January of 2022 about our newly launched Negro Spiritual Royalties Project, started by the United Parish in Brookline in October of 2021. Since then, this project has continued to receive media attention as churches across the country recognize their own moral obligation to repay the debt owed to enslaved Black people for the songs we have grown to love and claimed without permission as our own. For this year's collaboration, we will learn a bit more about this music, about the Negro Spiritual Royalties Project, and about the musical parallels in the Jewish tradition. First, the term Negro spirituals can be incredibly hard to say for many of us. The reasons we use it are simple. One, it is generally the preferred and accepted term by the community to whom this body of music belongs. Two, it captures the emotionally fraught history of this huge body of music. And three, it is a term that reminds us that the authors of this music were neither Africans nor Americans. The answer to injustice and inequality is not only about avoiding words. The answer is knowing that our differences do not and cannot ever really separate us from each other. We really cannot other each other without othering ourselves, and we cannot hurt each other without hurting ourselves. Negro spirituals, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, Go Down Moses, This Little Light of Mine, and between 3,000 and 6,000 more songs are deeply embedded in American music, most especially in houses of worship. Negro spirituals were immediately appealing to enslavers, and some found their way into hymn books even before slavery was abolished. Isaac Watts, the most beloved hymn writer of enslaved people, is recognized in name throughout our hymn books and music publications, yet not a single name is associated with the Negro spirituals. They went directly into the public domain. Just right there. That's it. The Negro Spiritual Royalties Project is the United Parish's attempt at acknowledging that the songs that we love and cherish and that speak so powerfully to and for our souls, much like the Psalms, were created by real people. Cutting to the end of the story, the United Parish now pays royalties to an organization that supports the advancement of Black musicians in Roxbury. We take a collection, we send it to Hamilton Garrett Center for Music and Arts because not only are they dedicated to advancing Black musicians, they are also dedicated to preserving Negro spirituals in the Black community. It is merely a step in the right direction. God knows the promised land where all people are free and treated fairly is a very long way off, but it's a step in the right direction. The themes heard throughout the Negro spirituals, as Cantor Hollis put it to me, the holy works of prayerful song are those of holding on to hope despite oppression, expressing faith in the face of brutality, and enabling the human spirit to endure the worst cruelties we humans can inflict on one another, and still rise resiliently from suffering by reaching for all that is good and wholesome and meaningful in the world. These themes are also deeply embedded in the collective Jewish memory. As a people who have endured persecution dating all the way back to enslavement in Egypt through to modern times, Jews are reminded again and again in the Torah that their own experience of mistreatment at the hands of tyrants means that they must work tirelessly to build a world as it should be, one of justice for every human being. Jews give voice to this mandate in their prayer books, their rituals, and their commitment to social justice, and most expressively in their Yiddish folk music. So when I asked Cantor Schachner what the Jewish people sang as their own spirituals during the darkest of times, which, let's face it, Jews have seen many of those, she brought me Yiddish songs that, like their Negro spiritual counterparts, speak directly to and for the soul. Songs, or maybe we could call them psalms, that strengthened the weary, that made room for grief, that allowed hope to blossom, and that created beauty from unimaginable horror. Tonight, we join together in friendship and faith, singing our psalms together. The Negro spiritual psalms, the Yiddish psalms, and the psalms of the Torah, found in our shared liturgy. Together, they reflect our shared history of struggle and survival, and our fervent, ceaseless hoping for and working towards better days ahead.
So for Yasher Koach, Susan, so for the music you're about to hear, we paired two songs together. The first is Mein Ruheplatz, and the second is a Negro spiritual called Hold On. Written to honor the victims of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire in 1911, 146 young, primarily immigrant Italian and Jewish women who worked in the abusive conditions of the garment industry in Lower Manhattan. The doors to the sweatshop were locked by the labor bosses to prevent the workers from taking breaks. And when the fire broke out, most of the women were trapped inside, sparking outrage that helped launch the labor movement in this country. Before they had the right to vote, it was women, like Rose Schneiderman, who were helping to power the movement by founding the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, which was one of the first, largest, and also primarily female unions. It was also racially integrated, with Black organizers like Floria Pinckney actively recruiting African American members. Lest we think those days were ancient history, my grandmother, my Bubby, was named for a close friend of her parents, and I knew her father, my Zadie, my great-grandfather, lived until I was 10. A close friend of her parents, a young woman who was killed in the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire shortly before my Bubby was born. And we named our son for my grandmother, so I feel a direct line of connection to this chapter of our American Jewish story. So we share with you now Mein Ruheplatz. The words will be up there where you can see them, followed by Hold On, another Negro spiritual which builds on these themes of resilience and holding on to hope no matter what.
Schatz, du Lebens
Our next piece is Hold On. I just want to say that this arrangement was by Chester Harrison. He wrote it, he was born in 1901, not very long after slavery was abolished, not very long at all. The previous arrangement that we did, the Ezekiel Saw the Wheel, was by H.T. Burleigh, who was born the very year after slavery was abolished. So this is the very first published Black composers out there that wrote these arrangements, and they are fine arrangements. Thank you to our wonderful soloists.
And so while we won't be passing around a collection, as that is not our custom, we will be making a donation, and we have made a donation in honor of this project, and we thank Susan for bringing this music to us and sharing those words. It's a wonderful project that Temple Shir Tikva is so proud to be supportive of with our friends from the United Parish in Brookline. We now turn together to page 282. We rise in body or in spirit as we continue now with the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shaberach
Don hakol, lateit gedula leoser bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu Shaddai, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo, U'shemo, U'shemo echad.
As we turn to page 294, we never conclude a service without sacred memory, remembering our loved ones who are no longer with us. On behalf of Congregation B'nai Torah, we remember
Sylvia Love Tudor, George Katzoff, David Irving Westerman, Rita Lederer, Rose Kaufman, Litza Vlahos, Samuel Chaffetz, Lillian Travers, Philip Noble, Emma Hertz, Herman Lowenstein, Paul J. Newman, Ann Tickor, Sylvia Berman Klein, Stuart Bencover, William Safran, Alfred Lind, Ida Goldberg, Grace Goodman, Judy C. Barron, Barnett Golder, Marcia K. Westerman, Jerome Glickman, and two who have died during the past month for whom we observe Shloshim, Francis de la Magdalene, James H. Wim Smith, Sr.
At Temple Shir Tikva, we remember the yard sites of Irving Baker, Dora Bellitz, Eleanor Benjamin, Marjorie Bernstein, Marshall E. Bird, Marvin Dolgov, Melvin Ehrlich, Ronald Foreman, Jenny Goldner, Joey Boston Gerwitz, Ruth Heyman, Rose Horwitz, Robert Jamron, Sherman Joseph Katz, Albert Camilla Steele, Marion Costa, Muriel Levinstein, Rochelle Shelley Merson, Dorothy Mayers, Reza Petrovna Leibman, Howard Porvu, Shirley Radlow, Mildred Rosenblatt, Bernie Sands, Louis Leon Satinova, Jules Shapiro, Sandra Swartz, Henrietta Wanger, Dorothy Wishnow, Helen Zimmerman, and Robert Pastor. And during the month of Shoshim, we remember Ronald Rubin, the brother of Linda Schulman, J. John Goodman, the father of Adam Goodman, Eleanor Lustig, the mother of David Lustig, Ernest Kahn, the father of David Kahn, Morris Feldman, the grandfather of Jonathan Smith, and Edwin Karp, the father of Jill Karp. If there are other names people are remembering, please share them now as I look around the room. For all those we name out loud and for those we name in our hearts, we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach urutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, B'galal v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mavarach la'alam ulmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, Vitada, vitale, vitalal, shmei dikudsha, brichu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, dam iran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing, and together let us say, Amen. If you'll please be seated. Right now, grape juice and wine are coming round the sanctuary. Hopefully some volunteers from Temple Shir Tikva will be distributing those. Just another word of thanks to our wonderful choirs here from Temple Shir Tikva and from United Parish in Brookline, and especially to Susan, who brought all of this together, to Jay-Z and to Hollis for adding their voices and music to this wonderful service. We also want to say a special thank you to John Legg and to Alison Weichel, who provided the technical support to ensure that we were seen at home. Thank you to our friends from Congregation B'nai Torah for joining us this evening for this special service. It is wonderful to have you with us in this space. Just a few quick announcements while the grape juice comes around. You can join me for coffee at Bagel Table this Monday at 11:30. I might even buy you a coffee if you do join me there. So I hope some of you will show up for that. We have a number of adult engagement events scheduled in the next few weeks that are taking place. Please check the website for details of that, and several great adult education sessions, including our Winter Scholar series with Peter Krause. And we're excited to just let you know, to whet the appetite a little bit, that Purim is coming in March, and we have our Broadway-themed spiel taking place. If you want to see Jay-Z singing, Hollis singing, I try to sing with them, and many other members of the team. It'll be wonderful for you to join us there. So it's going to be a wonderful service. Thank to Rabbi Lisa Idison for sharing the bimah with us this evening, to student Rabbi Heather for being with us. And so we're going to rise together in body or in spirit on page 5 as we join together for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'ratzon, hinkilanu v'zikro l'ma'aseh b'reishit. Ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrayei kodesh, zecher l'siyat Mitzrayim. Ki banu b'charta, eltanu kidashta, im kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, hilchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
Chaim.
Chayam.
We raise up our challah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And we close with Shabbat Shalom. We close with this little light of mine. Thank you to the United Parish Choir.
Thank you, soloists Nick Duffin, Sue Van Dyke, Diane Tootin, Amy Gilbert, and everybody's welcome to come to church on Sunday at 11 a.m.